Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I'm finally back after a long break. Obviously, I've took a break after the season ended. It's been a very nice break, I will say. It's been nice to not worry about having to bring out content, but now I'm back fully committed. Going to be bringing weekly uploads into the season, starting with a new FIFA 22 career mode that I will be starting with Plymouth Argyle that I did put on my Instagram. The poll's there. As you can see, I've done it either by my Twitch or YouTube, and YouTube won by quite a fair amount. And then as you can see here, that FIFA 22 won over Football Manager. So yeah, but today's video, obviously, as you can see by the title, is my podcast with Adam Randell. This was filmed quite a while ago now, I must say, probably about 2-3 weeks ago now. So yeah, so I don't know what questions were asked. So it's going to be a bit of a weird one for me watching it back as well. But saying that as well, I'm going to be trying to do some football videos with the Argyle players before they go back to pre-season in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully starting with the likes of Adam Randell, Mike Cooper, ones that they've now featured on the channel. Obviously Mike Cooper being on a podcast before. But without further ado, let's get into the podcast. I appreciate the support recently. Smash the thumbs up button. My socials will be down below. Drop me a follow on all the socials, and yeah, hopefully for a good pre-season with Argyle. Come on, you Greens. I'm joined now with Adam. Adam, how are you, mate?
Yeah. I'm very good, thank you.
Good to hear, good to hear. So we'll start off with my questions as per usual, and then we'll move on to the ones that I've put on a poll over on Instagram. My first question to you, Adam, is have you always wanted to go pro in football, and at what age did you realise it could potentially happen?
As long as I can remember. I mean, I've always played football from when I was little, in the garden, I suppose. But yeah, there wasn't really a specific age. It was just sort of growing up, always wanted to be one.
Yeah, nice. So then, as you just said, football is all you remember. My next question to you is, what was your first footballing memory?
I've answered this one before. It's playing in the garden with my dad and my sister, just knocking a ball about and have a bit of fun in the garden.
Nice to hear, mate. Nice to hear. Now, going on to my next question, who is your sporting idol?
When I was growing up, it was David Beckham.
Yeah.
I just love watching his free kicks and things like that. But right now, I don't know about now. It's hard to say. It'd have to be a footballer, wouldn't it? I'd love to play like Kevin De Bruyne and that.
Yeah.
I think he's class.
100%. Nice. So the next question, this might be a tricky one for you to answer. As you said previously, football's all you ever know. But what career path would you have chosen if football didn't turn out the way it did?
I really don't know. I would have done A-levels. I don't know what. Maybe something within physiotherapy or something. So I'm quite interested in the sort of
the body
area and how the body works and stuff like that.
Yeah, no problem. So the next question, moving on now to your footballing career, what is the best footballing experience you've had, and also to that, what has been your favourite career moment so far?
My best experience as a whole would have been Chelsea, I think. Because that was just unbelievable, obviously.
Yeah.
But as an individual moment, it would have to be my goal at Sheffield Wednesday. It's a moment that I've been waiting for a long time.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, because I finally got there.
So my next question to you, mate, is do you have any pre or post match superstitions that you sort of keep to yourself that you do before a game that is unique to yourself?
I don't really know. No, I do. There's nothing weird or strange like that. I just sort of crack on as well.
Yeah, nice. So then, next coming on, how do you handle with criticism and pressure, either from like manager, players around you, or fans?
Yeah, obviously it's a tough part of the game, but it's part of it. Something I try and stick by is not take criticism from someone I wouldn't take advice from.
Yeah.
Obviously it hits harder when it's someone like a gaffer or a member of staff. But I guess you should try and learn from it rather than taking it personally. They're just trying to help you to become as best as you can be.
100%, mate. Then going on now, you're quite young, so you probably won't have any, but do you have any footballing regrets?
Any what, sorry?
Sorry, I said, do you have any footballing regrets? No? Yeah, no, I assumed that's a question I ask everyone I get on the podcast, but I assumed you're quite young, so there's not much you haven't had to regret as of yet. But moving on to the next question.
Not regret.
No. Moving on to the next question, and who is the hardest player you've played against?
That's tough. Barry Bannon was good.
Yeah.
For Sheffield. Good player.
Good player.
There's a lot of good players, to be fair. There's loads.
So you'd pick out Barry Bannon?
I think so, yeah.
100%. Then moving on now, just switching the question, who's the best player you've played with?
I'd say either Mike Cooper or Danny Mayer.
100%. Mike Cooper, what a season he's had. He's had an amazing season.
He's a joke.
So, yeah, it's class. Next, moving on to the next question. What has it been like playing for Argyle? Obviously, being from Plymouth, and also from that, how much of an impact has Ryan Lowe and Steve Schumacher had since their arrivals to your career?
Obviously, I love playing for Argyle. It's something I've always dreamt of. So it's huge for me when I play. In terms of managers, you look at everyone, not just managers. But obviously, they've helped me and given me a good sort of start to my career and given me chances, which obviously helps.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. Now, moving on now, as I said, you being a Plymouth lad, what is your favourite Plymouth Argyle chant?
I'm not sure about this one. There's loads of good ones, isn't there?
There's a few.
I think for me, it would have to be the he's one of our own ones. I don't care who it's for, I just love it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Me, for Jeff's in it, but yeah, I do like it.
100%. Now, my last question to you before we move on to the ones over from Instagram is what is the best advice you'd give, or have you been given in the past, that you would give to aspiring footballers?
I always tell people to quit. I don't think you get anywhere if you're not enjoying your football. Secondly, it's been good at kicking the ball. It gets you so far.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you got the right mentality as well as other things.
100%, mate. 100%. Now, moving on to Instagram questions. Our first one from D2P5AOD9A, and he's asking, who is your dream club to play for other than Argyle?
That's a tough question. Right now, I don't really want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
If I had to choose somewhere right now, I'd go Man City, just because of the players they've got. I'd love to play them.
100%. Have you always, football-wise, have you always supported Argyle, or is there another team that you've supported, like a Premier League side?
When I was really young, I supported Man United just because they were the best team when I was little. But yeah, properly, it was only a rival.
Quality. Moving on to the next question from Ruben.Schmid, and he's asking who's got the best banter in the team.
I would say Conor Grant. I quite like his banter. He's sort of quite sarcastic and quite clever with his. So yeah, I'll go with him.
Yeah, nice. Moving on now to Lewis Cook, and he's asking, what do you think of City? Obviously, they've just recently got promoted back to our league, but what are your thoughts on City?
Yeah, I mean, credit them. They've done well to get promoted, but I can't wait to beat them next year.
I love that a lot. That's class.
I can't wait.
That's great. Moving on to the next question now from Zach Brown 2, and he's asking who's the most annoying prankster in the dressing room?
I'm prankster. I don't know. There's a few little pranksters in there, but I don't really get involved in it too much. I think the strikers quite like to have a bit between themselves usually.
Yeah.
Ryan, Jeffs, Garrick, and I think they're usually the ones to be doing stuff for each other. So one of them. I don't know which one.
No problems. And then moving on to that sort of same type of question from Jack Tyler 963, and he's asking who's the biggest joker in the Argyle dressing room.
I don't know. Everyone chips in, don't they? I don't know if there's one standout for me. Don't know. Maybe Luke McCormick when he's in.
Yeah, 100%.
That's not bad.
Now moving on now from Maisie_airs 134, and she's asking, where do you see yourself in 2 years?
Playing for Argyle.
Simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah, starting as many games as possible, scoring a few goals and that.
100%.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice. Then coming on now to the next question from Bailey Williams 9, and he's asking, do you remember playing at DGM level Hugh Rovers and tearing up the leagues?
I do remember playing for Hugh Rovers. I do remember Bailey Williams indeed. I remember playing with him, so yeah, I'll let him have that one.
Can you elaborate on that? How was it like playing at DGM?
Well, our team was class. We battered everyone, so it was good fun.
Yeah.
It was obviously good, but I was young when I moved on from it and didn't play there for very much. But
what age did you have to give up DGM to go to Argyle? Was you like scouted quite early into the academy, or?
I was 10.
10.
When I couldn't play.
Right. Going on to the penultimate question now, and it's from Alfie Frost _, and he's asking, what was it like playing under Gary Johnson?
It was good. Obviously, I played a lot of games. I learned a lot when I was there. Going into full-on men's football is a lot different. But yeah, I learned a lot with my time there, especially for me.
100%. And moving on to the last question now, and we sort of just touched on this at Maisie's question, but from Matt Warden, he's asking, what are your personal and club goals for the upcoming season?
Personally, just I guess start as many games as possible.
Yeah.
I'd like to become a consistent starter. I don't really have a number or anything like that, but just to become a regular starter, I guess.
100%.
And then, as a club, we want to get promoted.
Yeah, I mean,
which is the end goal. So.
The season we just had was, for the fans, it was incredible and stuff. Unfortunate, about the last day, but what, adding on to that as well, what was your thoughts on the season just gone?
Obviously, it's hard not to, I've said it before, hard not to base it off the last game.
Yeah.
It was a good season, don't get me wrong, but ultimately we didn't get the playoffs, didn't get promoted, so
No.
I don't know, it feels a bit sour, but it was an unbelievable series, and I won't forget some of the experiences we had, I tell you.
100%, mate. Appreciate you giving me your time to come on. Is there anything you'd like to shout out?
Don't think so.
No problem.
I don't think so.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Adam. Stay
No
safe.
worries.
All the best, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you, pal. Cheers.